The fact that human beings are adaptive is a great thing. Let's say if you're crossing the road and all of a sudden you hear a car coming and you see it in your peripheral vision. Lucky you're pretty adaptive, you don't have to think too hard before quickening up your step and crossing the road a bit quicker. In the golf world, this can get sometimes not quite as useful. So imagine if you have a golfing trip to Scotland and all of a sudden it's really windy compared to what you normally play in. And as a result, you make some changes. You probably put the ball back in your stance, probably have more weight on your left foot to try and help with keeping the ball flight down. And if you weren't aware of that, when you go back to playing on conditions more like what you're used to, so less wind, all of a sudden you've got these things in your swing that aren't working so well, and you think, oh, everything's gone to pieces, what's happened? So, unfortunately right now, my Lamborghini is in the garage, so I'm driving the Nissan. And you can just about see here, the grip on this car, on the steering wheel, compared to the car I was driving when I was in America, is much thinner. And almost instinctively, I went to grip this the first time and felt it was really strange. So I was aware of the change, and it's not a big problem, I just got used to it. But in your golf game, Jack Nicklaus had a very good record. 18 major wins. It's going to be tough to beat that. And he used to say in his lessons with Jack Grout, he'd always be going over the same one or two things. So things that would go slightly off and he'd have to get back to how they were. So instead of when things start to go wrong, thinking, oh, everything's disappeared, I've completely forgotten how to play this game, maybe have a think through the conditions you've been in. Maybe you've been practicing lower shots, maybe you've been practicing different things that have made something come into your golf game. Have a look back at the habits in your game, the things that tend to go wrong when things go bad, and just having that awareness of your game instead of thinking you need a major rehaul all the time will mean that when you go back to a steering wheel that's a different size, you just get used to it. It's not a big deal. So, I'll see you soon.